Folks, thanks for checking in. We're getting our pump line hung. It's 1-inch plastic pipe. One advantage to this is it's black, so it'll stay thawed out as long as it's warm enough and the sun's shining. The other advantage is it's cheaper than sap line, and it's also high pressure line, so it's going to handle any pressure that your pump may push. So we're using our wire ties and going around both the dry line and the pump line. Folks, we got this wire tied here. We got our dry line and the pump line together. To tension your lines, go ahead and throw a ratchet strap on there at your end, and usually you want to use a tension grip, don't use baling twine. Then we're gonna put a wire up in this tree across to this tree right here, and that's going to drop into that metal tank. You can see the edge of it back there, and so we'll be pumping it from that tank down there all the way up to this tank that will feed the RO, and then from the RO it's going to either go into a recirc tank or into the sugar house. And we also have an IBC tote up there for the water. So we're gonna get this wire up here, and then we're gonna bring the pump line up and over, because this is kind of a road right here. We want to be able to go underneath that line. Do some ladder work. So I took the snowshoes off. I'm gonna have this 12.5 gauge high tensile wire. We're gonna go between those trees, and we gotta have a couple gripples here, and we gotta have some tubing to protect the tree, so we're gonna grab that. Go ahead and get our ladder set up here. We'll sleeve the wire through the tubing I've cut. I like to cut a 5/16 tube, put that on the wire, and then put 3/4 over that. It just offers an extra layer of protection for the tree. Gripples make a really nice end of line connection. You can wind the wire, it's not quite as strong, and of course doesn't look quite as good either. Now we're up above at our second anchor tree by the tank, getting the wire ready here. Once again, we're going to sleeve it. Get your gripple on there first, sleeve it, throw it around the tree, and we're going to be putting our tensioner up here as well, so don't forget to throw your tensioner in before you insert that wire back into the gripple once you're around the tree. So I'm putting in that tensioner here, then I'll insert it into the gripple, and we'll be able to put our wire in the tensioner and tighten it down. A simple way to check your level is throw a level, get it level, and then you can get right down by it and sight that right across. And so we had plenty of elevation, so I decided to drop it as much as I could here so that I don't have more elevation than necessary. This water line is pretty thick shelled, and getting a stainless coupling in here proved to be quite a challenge. I found that if I tighten down and tap it every so often. That would help seat it, and obviously you got to put some heat on there. Stainless couplings are the same inner diameter as the pipe, which makes very nice for flow, because then you don't reduce your size there, but it does make it a challenge to install. So we got our coupling in there. The next step is to wire tie this line along the wire that we stretched across there. So I'll get it up in a few spots, and then we'll come back through and wire tie the whole thing. I had to get the tension just right from the wire below to the wire above. It'll be hanging through free air, which is going to be fine because it's pretty thick walled pipe, and I got the tension just right on that. Wire tied it pretty good here. Now we're up at the top. Get this pulled tight now that we have our position down below where we want it. I've used a ratchet strap once again to get our tension just right, and then we'll be able to, the last step will be to come across and wire tie it up. Thank you for watching, folks. There's a little bit more to this video, but while I'm wire tying across here, it is Wednesday. The sap is running pretty good, so I'll keep you posted on that. We're looking at a boil either Wednesday or Thursday. We got a very good stretch of weather coming up for sugaring, so we're going to be deep into that. If you haven't yet, now is a great time to hit subscribe and like so that more folks like you are able to see what we're doing here at Wildcat Sugar Bush. So thank you for those of you who have subscribed and supported the channel in that way. Thank you for watching, folks. We're done wire tying this pump line, so it's good to get this phase done. We'll see you next time.